Good morning, children. Welcome to today's class. Today, we are going to start the new chapter, that is chapter number 4, sensitivity towards others. Children, we are in class 4. We have studied about how to care the older members of our family, and as well as we have seen that how to give the respect to the visually impaired and hearing impaired children. What do you mean by visually impaired children? Visually impaired are those children who can't see with their eyes, and as well as in the same way whom we call as a hearing impaired, the children who can't hear, can't listen, you can say. In this chapter, children, we are going to study more about the physically challenged and socially deprived children and what are the things we have to show against them. A little care and love can bring their life so huge difference, children, isn't it? So our chapter is about the sensitivity towards others. Firstly, we have to understand, children, what is sensitivity. Sensitivity is nothing but appreciating the feeling of others. What is, children, sensitivity? Once again I am repeating, sensitivity is nothing but appreciating the feeling of others. So children, in this chapter we are running into two types. One is the physically challenged children in the form of the example they are given for us, that is about Saloni. On the other hand, socially deprived children in the form of the example they are given about Rajani. So we will divide our chapter into two groups, children. One in the form of physically challenged children and another in the form of socially deprived children. So firstly we will go for the physically challenged children in the form of Saloni. How the Saloni look like, children, I will show you to now in the next slide now. Yes, so children, you can find this is example of a child or a children given for the physically challenged children. Who is she, children? She is nothing but Saloni, isn't it? Who is she, children? She is nothing but Saloni. Children, she is nothing but Saloni. Okay, children. Whether she is normal, children, like you all know, she is disabled. She is having some difficulty. What are the difficulty? Which are the disease she is suffering from? Now we will see, children, when we see the about her. Young Saloni suffers from cerebral palsy. So children, she is suffering from a disease called cerebral palsy. What it means, children? It is the condition where a person's muscles do not respond normally. So due to this cerebral palsy, what she can't move here, her body freely like you and me all. It is a condition where a person's muscles do not respond normally. Her right side is weaker than the left. How is her body, children? Her right side is weaker than the left. Her right arm is rigid. Rigid means, children, unable to bend, isn't it? The body is unable to bend properly. So for that reason, her right arm is rigid. Whose right arm, children? Saloni. Who is Saloni? You can see in the image here. I have circled for you all. She has a brace for the right leg and she walks in a bumpy way. She cannot run and her speech is unclear. So children, see, she is not a normal child like you and like you all. She is suffering from a disease called cerebral palsy. Due to that, she can't move her body freely, isn't it? For that reason, she find very difficult to hold a pencil and write, and her speech is unclear. Like we will speak fluently with others in the society, in the with our family members. But Saloni is a physically challenged children, isn't it? She is a physically challenged child, so she can't move freely like us, isn't it? She has to undergo speech and occupational therapy. So for her, the therapist will be providing her the right technique and guidance for Saloni. For whom, children? For Saloni. What kind of child she is? She is physically challenged child. She remains quiet and does not interact with other children. Children, as you know that she is suffering from a disease called cerebral palsy. So due to that, she remains quiet and does not interact with other children. The only time she smiles in when her teacher switches on the music. Her body sways to the rhythm of the music. So she feels very happy when her teacher switch on the music and her when body starts to move, isn't it? With the help of the rhythm of the music, children. So till now we have seen about a example they are given for us in the form of Saloni, children, isn't it? How is she? She is not normal like you all. She is suffering from cerebral palsy. Means what, children? Due to that, she is not normal. She is abnormal, you can say. Her right side is weaker than the left. She can't do normal things like we will do in our daily life, children. So this is about the Saloni. Next, in the next slide, we will see who are the people who will guide them to become normal, isn't it? In our next slide, children, we will see now. Yes. So children, it is the next slide which will tell us that expert dealing with the physically challenged children. So children, you can see here in this is the teacher which is teaching the physically challenged children. Like Saloni, you can see her how with a smiling face she is interacting with all the children. All these children are not normal children, they are physically challenged children. So the most important thing, when we interact with them, we should have a smiling face while interacting with them, while interacting with them. That is very much important, children. About them, we will see here what are the changes brought in their life nowadays, and we will compare to their lifestyle in the ancient times and now present times, whether they are comfortable nowadays or not. In earlier times, most physically challenged children were not given any special education and training. So see children, in earlier times means in the ancient times, in the olden times, most physically challenged children were not given any special education and training. The parents were unaware about the help and training that could make their life happy and comfortable. But nowadays, it is not like that, children. In the ancient times, nothing was there for them, no facility, no proper techniques, no proper technology was available at that time for the physically challenged children. But nowadays, in the modern period, in the modern world, not only to them but their parents also, now we can guide them how to deal with them in the home, isn't it? The parents were unaware about the help and training that could make their life and happy and comfortable. But in the recent time is in the present time, in the modern time, a lot of progress has been made in this field. Now many specially trained teachers and therapists provide guidance to these special children. Their families are also trained to deal with them. Progress in the field of science and technology made the physically challenged children more mobile and independent. They can use special machines for exercise and greater movement. So nowadays children, for physically challenged children, there are the therapists, there are the teachers who are properly trained to guide them, isn't it? Not only for the children but also for their parents. But now how it is possible, children, nowadays due to the progress in science and technology. So children, you can see here, once again I will show you here how the teachers are dealing with the physically challenged children. You can see a girl sitting here, how she is looking to the teacher and following her instructions. In the same way, nowadays in this modern world, with the help of the science and technology, the physically challenged children are more comfortable when we compare into the ancient times, children. Okay, next we will see physically challenged children require special skills to eat, read, move around, express themselves and use the toilet. These skills make them confident and less dependent on other people. The teachers dealing with these children also require special training. This training helps the teacher to create a suitable environment where special children learn new skills faster. The teacher needs patience, kindness and a sympathetic attitude. So nowadays children, as you know that we all do our work on our own in our home. What are the work of our own daily activities here? Eating, reading, moving around, we all do on our own. But this physically challenged children, for them there should be someone to guide them, to help them. To who are those children here to guide them? They are nothing but the teachers, isn't it? For those teachers, they require the training. After the training, will allow them to deal with them, to connect with them, to interact with them, isn't it? Though these teachers will help them, will provide them the skills to eat, to read, to move around and express themselves. By doing this one, they become comfortable, and they, in the future, day by day, they will do all their work on their own, children. How it is possible, children? With the help of the teachers, isn't it? And the most important thing, the teachers who will teach them, they should have three qualities with them. Firstly, they should have patience, kindness and a sympathetic attitude. So without these three qualities, they can't interact with these physically challenged children. In the form of example, we have seen children. Who is she? Saloni, isn't it? After that, we will see what kind of educations we should provide them. In our next slide, we will see. Yes. So see children here, experts dealing with the physically challenged children. Who are the expert here? Nothing but the teachers who will teach this physically challenged children. You can see children here, I will show you now. The teachers, how they are holding the hand of a physically challenged child, and you can see one more teacher here, how they are showing how to hold the pencil, how to write. Everything is possible when they will get proper training for this teacher, children, isn't it? Now we will see what kind of education we should provide to this physically challenged children. Inclusive education. So what kind of education we should provide them? Inclusive education, children. Expert dealing with physically challenged children advise that these children must be integrated with other children. So this physically challenged children like Saloni should be go to a normal school, like you all are coming to our normal school. They should sit with you all and they should see the observation and the changes, or can say the activities which you all do, isn't it? This kind of education, that is called inclusive education, only meant for whom here? Physically challenged children like Saloni children. This is known as the inclusive education. They should be sent to a normal school. When they interact with other children, they develop confidence and understanding. So when this Saloni type of children, when they come to with you in your school, when they sit beside to you, they will have some confidence and they will understand you by seeing you all your behavior in the classroom, children. It automatically enhances their learning abilities. They overcome hurdles like shyness and hesitation when they join normal school. So children, remember that physically challenged children should be sent to the normal school to sit with you all and to understand you all your activities and to interact with them. When they interact with you, they will become so comfortable. They will enjoy your support, isn't it? And your togetherness, children. Which kind of children they are? They are the physically challenged children, isn't it, children? Next we will see the challenges have difficulty in forming relationship with others because of their physical limitations. So physically challenged children are different from you all children. They are not normal like you. So in the beginning they will find some difficulties to interact with you all. But when they inculcate, when they get the inclusive education, they will automatically they will start to maintain a good relation with the other students, then teachers, and as well as the staff member. So inclusive education benefits other students. They not only develop an understanding of needs of special children, but also develop a caring and sympathetic attitude towards them. So remember, children, inclusive education is for both the group, one for the physically challenged children and as well as for the normal children like you all. So when you inculcate with them, when you interact with them, what are the things you will get from them? You will understand them betterly, isn't it? You can interact with them, you can interact with them, you can share your all happiness, your food, everything. So in this way, they will be comfortable with you all. Who will be comfortable, children? Physically challenged children. With the example of whom we are studying, this one, Saloni, isn't it? She is normal like you all? No, she is abnormal, isn't it? Because she is suffering from a disease called cerebral palsy. This brings a great change in the society. Everyone realizes the problems that special children face and work towards making their life happier, isn't it? So when we interacting with the physically challenged children, we should remember some points, children. Which are the points here? We will see now. A positive attitude of the people around them. So always the physically challenged children should be surrounded with the positive people, but not with the negative people. If they surrounded with the positive people, no doubt they will become comfortable. If they interact with the negative people, no doubt they will be uncomfortable, you can say. And the second thing we have to remember, we have to provide them a good infrastructure. Isn't infrastructure means what here? Nothing but the you can say the available the things which will make them comfortable, and as well as the whom here a normal school. Then they should be provided with the therapist to help and guide them. So therapist plays an important role in the life of physically challenged children. They are not like the normal teachers which will teach you. They are the different teachers. After the training, they will indulge with them and they will make their life comfortable, children. And like lastly, but very important, that is a lot of love and care. So children, most important thing, we should encourage them, we should make them happy, we should interact with them positively, we should sit with them, chat with them, and we should share our activities with them. With whom, children? With the physically challenged children. So in this way we can make their life comfortable. So now, children, I will give the example of a great lady, worldwide famous she is. Her name is Helen Keller. In our next slide we will know about her. How she look like, I will show you, children, on the next slide. Yes, she is none other than Helen Keller. Who is she? She is Helen Keller. Why she became so famous? Now we will see about her. Helen Keller is a symbol of courage for all of us. She was the first deaf blind person to get a Bachelor of Arts degree. So she was not a normal like you all and me. She was a deaf blind person. Deaf means children who can't hear, isn't it? Who can't hear anything. She wrote over 12 books and many articles, isn't it? So what are the achievements of the Helen Keller here? She is deaf, but she has wrote 12 books and many articles. We will see which are the famous book of her. Her famous books are The Story of My Life, The World I Live In, Light in My Darkness, etc. She worked hard to make the life of the people like her better. She always used to make something for those people like her, isn't it? Basically she is a deaf, isn't it, and as well as a blind person. But apart from this, she never discouraged herself. She has motivated not only to her but also the other like who are exactly to like her here, like whom here, Helen Keller. She worked hard to make the life of the people like her better. This world famous author also became a political activist, lecturer and humanitarian. Apart from author, she also became a good activist, a lecturer and a humanitarian, children. So children, this is about the physically challenged children in the form of Saloni. In our next class we will study about the Rajani. She is socially deprived children. Okay children, so watch this video again and again and understand properly. So thank you children for listening today's class.